Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna talk about return fragging, how it works, how to utilize it, factors that will screw with it, and yeah, essentially that is all you're gonna learn about, assuming you watch this entire video. Now keep in mind, this subject here is a little bit high level, so I'm gonna assume that you are decently skilled at the game, or you want to play the game at a higher level. Understanding these subjects and, I guess you could say concepts, it will allow you to play the game smarter regardless, so let's get into it, shall we? And quickly about the game, this is on log. Our team got wrecked. We had one guy that literally at one point he shot me in my ass, so yeah, I was not able to get a kill that I should have gotten, and it was fun though. I was able to get a lot of kills, but then again we had we had potato teammates. So anyways, let's talk about return fragging. Essentially the main dynamic that works around return fragging is that in Counter-Strike, when you do something, as in shooting, spraying a weapon, a rifle, a pistol, more so with rifles and expensive guns than with pistols, you are going to get your aim, or rather where the actual bullets are going, your raw accuracy, it will get thrown off. Knowing this, you can actually demonstrably abuse this against more so stupid than smart enemies, and this allows you to just break open sights, even if your entry fragger might die. Which is why being an entry fragger, it's a very ballsy kind of role to take, even more so because it requires a certain set of level of mentality to be able to run in and having a 50-50% chance of getting picked off by an AWP or getting wrecked by a rifle, because essentially you are the first guy going in. You're acting like a living decoy, but also a guy that is supposed to create opportunities, which is essentially also why I don't like the AWP nerf being a thing, but it happened. What can we do? But anyways, so moving on then. You need to have one or two, the more the better in that sense, but we are only 5 players per round in CS. The more support players or return fraggers that you have following with you, if you then are deciding to, you know what, we're gonna rush A, or we're gonna rush B. If you have these people following you, and they are very skilled at the game, or they at least know how their favorite weapons that they probably then have works out, they can easily be able to kill whatever kills you because your accuracy gets thrown off. However, there's way more factors that plays into return fragging, and that makes it very effective if you utilize it properly, so we're going to dive into that as well. Essentially, it's called the meta of the Counter-Strike, these things got properly flushed out, I would assume, by the way, when NIP was on that 87-0 LAN win streak. 87 maps, that's just insane. But anyway, so yeah, that being put aside, this being a thing, you need to understand that when you then create these opportunities, if you then stop and you take a rake or a stick or something and shove it up your ass, and you stand at one point and you do nothing. If you just camp, you waste your opportunity. You have this great chance because you was able to either get the return kill, even if you lost your entry fragger, or you were able to just outright make your entry fragger work out, and he was able to create an opportunity for you to take a side. If you waste that, you are making your team, like you're doing your team a disservice, all right? You're essentially potentially wasting the entire round because you're not taking a power position. I made an older video about this. You're wasting a potential power position, or being able to put even more pressure onto the enemy team, in which then will not allow you to potentially set up properly after taking a site as T, or or if you want to take a site back as CT, and that might actually waste you the entire round. This is not a cool thing to do, and it's one of the most frustrating things that I experienced pre-VAC ban waves. We have had like 8 now, so there's that, making matchmaking way easier than it was in the past, because essentially there's like a psycho big portion of cheaters that has been amputated away from CS, which is really good, but still matchmaking doesn't have, the right timers for the bomb and the rounds, so it's very slow. But anyways, point in case is that if you did not utilize these kind of insane, high-pressure, intelligent factors onto CSGO that would allow you to essentially break sites open, hold skilled positions, in which only a fucking high-level entry frag would be able to return, kill you, or just break up the site and then kill you, which did frequently happen because there were cheaters in matchmaking, not so more, and not more so more anymore. You get my point. Yeah, it was a great factor and way of playing the game that you could utilize, in which essentially professional players did utilize, or does utilize, the higher level, the more skilled, the more they will do these kind of things. And that was one of the ways humans could become global elites in the past. Now it's relatively easy though, so there's that. But anyways, Let's move over to other factors that might throw a hissy fit in all this and just ruin your day. So having a really skilled defensive AWPer, which is the most prominent way you can play with the AWP now. You can't really play with it aggressive anymore, which is kind of lame. Having a defensive AWPer that is very smart, he can easily maybe manipulate, not essentially get baited, but kill people that might bait him out, trying to get an entry frag. Here's a guy that shot me in my ass and just ruined the game to a certain extent. But anyways, yeah, having a really skilled AWPer, this is where investing that kind of money, it becomes very important, because he can hold down a site, he can hold down a position, he can potentially kill the initial entry fragger, and if he's really skilled, he can kill even more people, like the two support players, the return fraggers that might come behind him, and it will be very interesting, but also very valuable asset to have to your team if you ever get a guy with that kind of set of skill. Now, it requires serious dedication, and even more so because you can't really waste that kind of money. That's 4,750 bucks that you invest into one AWPer. You can't have him miss. It's just it's one of the more annoying things about matchmaking. However, if he's able to hold down those kind of defensive positions, he can easily just ruin everything, which is why having a skilled entry fragger and or very smart and skilled support players, at least having two of them, it makes stuff so much easier for you if you want to play Counter-Strike to win, because it allows you to either manipulate the AWPers or manipulate the site so it becomes easier for you to attack the site, or it allows the return fraggers to essentially just kill a guy that is blind, you know? So all of these factors, having a decent, like having people at any level being able to perform all of these things, and having a decent amount of different players that are that flexible and can do all of these things at the same time, for all the reasons, you know, not wasting potential epic push in which it might not seem favorable being 4v4, but if you have power positions over the enemy team, you're going to be able to kill so many more of them. Having a nice synergy of teamwork in this kind of aspect, it makes Counter-Strike so much more enjoyable to play, to spectate, you know, to practice, and it also in the past more so made it actually kind of fun to face cheaters in matchmaking, because, you know, you actually you were forced to practice legitimately skilled tactics in matchmaking, but that is not the case anymore at LEM, at Supreme, and at Global Elite rank anymore, in which is why we have gameplays like the one you're watching right now, in which we actually had 2 Global Elites on our team, but we had then that trollery guy that shot me in the ass earlier, and then the enemy team had like they had like 1 Global Elite and 2 Supremes or something. So yeah, I don't want to play Log anymore. I don't like the new maps. They're just a lot of crap on them essentially. But then again, I gotta get my golden coin, you know. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something, a little bit more high level of things to learn about CS. If you want to watch videos similar to these, or if you want to see more of them, you can support the channel on Patreon. If not, a like is fine though. But anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified if you, when you, there we go. Yeah, when you play, people.